that they were living in. And if they didn't accomplish that, what they did accomplish was to civilize capitalism. That's the safety net.
Running with the slogan, "Re-civilize yourself," a controversial Nivea advert hit headlines in 2011 after being accused.
Not enough to civilize a nation. What America needs is
The war was the attempt to civilize it by bringing it under the domain of law.
And civilize, and this doctrine contained the seeds of missionary
into the world and trying to civilize it. Missionary Calvinism
rough-hewn communities and to build community.
To civilize you. It was very fine for a time, but after a bit I did get tired of resting.
To, as it were, police, domesticate, and civilize these populations and turn them into French citizenships.
Have to learn, we civilize them, they have to learn to a large degree their pro-social skills. And so
sample as we start to civilize a planetary surface. So this is a
capacity to cultivate, civilize, and develop them and make them become human. Today, or Thomas Jefferson then, to civilize and develop people. And so like that idea that
they used the women to try to civilize the West. In terms of they were trained.
They are part of Eleanor's subtle attempt to civilize her husband and the men around him by putting into.
Therefore, we can take their land, settle their land, civilize their land.
As a Native American leader, how could you?
Landscape architect attempts to civilize and at the same time naturalize this new topography.
And over time, we civilize them. How do we civilize them? It's all about
policymakers involved in the attempts to civilize Indians, people like Dawes.
That idea of who is civilized and who needs to civilize, right? They'll be able to recognize the history of British.
Sexes need each other. For example, women civilize men. It's what we're supposed to do. But in order to accomplish
who goes to civilize the natives. In all cases, trying to remove the racism.
In a building which announces its intention to civilize and educate its viewers from the moment they approach it. The gardener is more eccentric.
The primary rule is that all words of the type authorize, civilize, and legalize may legitimately be spelled with either.
Reverend Doc. To civilize the Negroes by converting them to Christianity and by infusing Aryan blood into their race.
He felt it was his duty to civilize them at any cost. In a stroke of irony, it
had got a heavenly mission to civilize you. It was very fine for a time, but after a bit I did get tired of resting.
Well, as people move in and civilize an area, the big ferocious animals are killed off or driven off.
Decided that they were going to civilize Ada Benga. So what they did is they put him in.
They wanted to civilize us, I suppose. They were punished for being